Hey guys, it's Shannon with Got to Go Prepared. We're going to be out in the woods of Kentucky today doing a few things. I'm here with my brother, that's Brandon. He lives up here and show us around, and we're fixing to take off walking through the woods and just do a little skills and a few things like that out here. Give you a good shot of what's around us. That would be woods, so stay tuned. Hey guys, Shannon here with Got to Go Prepared. I'm out here in the woods of Kentucky with my brother who is off over there looking for some plants that are worth digging up. That's all I'll say. He's just doing a little scouting. Anyway, I am all camoed up here out in the area, but gonna do a few things today on this video. I'm gonna talk a little bit about my bag here. This is a Miltech bag, multicam. It's kind of neat. When I ordered it and I realized where it came from Scotland. On the side I have a multicam rain jacket. I have a kitchen sink, holds 5 liters of water so I can scoop water, bring it back to camp, and not have to just fill bottles up. I have my multi-tool strapped to the outside. I have my Becker BK7 and Kydex sheath that I made. Strapped on the outside is another knife I have with my large ferrocerium rod. And this case I made it with a dangler, and I made it to go across your belt for cross draw as well, so I could wear it either way. Paracord wrap, a small compass. Of course, we all know the Becker BK7. If you don't, you need to get one. They're great knives. I'll be using a little bit out here today, but that's kind of what's strapped on the outside. I have a tomahawk over there that I've got it stuck in a tree. It's holding a few things from the tree right now. I'm not going to go through the inside of the bag out here and scatter it all over the woods, but I'm going to put up some shelters and or put up a shelter with some stuff I have in the bag, and maybe start a fire. Show you how it's done with a couple things that I have in the bag. If I can get a tarp laid out, there is some poison ivy close by, and poison ivy doesn't like me, so I don't want to get too close to it. But if I can get a tarp out here and lay it down, I may go through a few things in the bag, and we'll go through and do a few outdoor skill type things while we're out here. But stay tuned, and that's what we got coming up. I'm going to go through this bag, and we'll be back in a second. Alright, this tarp I have in here, I thought I had it in this bag and not the other one I have, but well, I'm way out in the woods. There is a small road. This is a private area, but there's a small road that goes near here, off this way, and now a siren, and I'm hearing a siren out in the middle of the woods. It's crazy. Somebody's got their moonshine still busted. But this tarp is in here. What this tarp is great for, just a ground cover, but it has the Mylar back, which can also double keep you warm, keep you out of the cold, flex heat back in, which is a great thing to have in your bag, as a ground cloth, a cover, a tarp. If you were building a lean-to, which I'm not going to build a lean-to out here today, a lot of people have seen those, you could put this over it so it'd have a reflective surface before you laid your branches and stuff on the top of it, so you'd have this reflective surface towards you, and then have your fire out in front of it to reflect heat off of it and keep you a lot warmer. But with it being mid-July in Kentucky, or even where I'm at in Tennessee, staying warm is not a problem. it's staying cool that would be a problem. So you would want to take this and turn it the other way to reflect the heat away from you if you're trying to stay cool, or find a good shady spot like I'm in right here. I'm going to spread this tarp out and go through a few things in the bag, and then as we go along I'll progress on some of the other things I want to show you today. Before I get started on the bag, a few things that I'm wearing, and everybody likes to wear something different. I've got on a multicam battle shirt, which is light and thin. Underneath I have a Under Armour heat compression shirt. My Timex Expedition Shock watch, which I really like, compass and a lot of things on this watch. Really like it. Paracord bracelet with a ferrocerium rod and a leather bracelet my daughters gave me. Knee pads, multicam knee pads. I keep these strapped to the pack. I love these. It protects your knees when you're doing work like I'm here on one knee, and you can even just carry one, buy two, but use one all the time, whatever knees dropped on the ground. When you're working in an environment like this, you'll put your knee on a rock or something and you're going to be hurt. So I like to protect my knees, so I leave these wrapped around. And also I have a pair of gaiters, leg gaiters on, which are covering my lower leg. Keep ticks from crawling out, keep my pants legs dry, so it protects them. The pants I'm wearing, these are an ATAC tactical pant, and I can't remember the name of them. They were fairly expensive. They were close to $100 for these pants. I found them on Amazon. They have pockets in a lot of different places, and then this ATAC pattern, which I really growing to like. So I have here is my water filter, the Renvo water filter that has a 0.5 filter in it, which will even filter out chemicals. Keep that around my neck here. And then a small neck knife. This is the CRKT minimalist knife there. Small neck knife, Kydex sheath, just for some small tasks. I also have a small Kershaw knife that I've showed you guys before in this pocket. Kershaw Blur on this back pocket. I have my firearm here on my side. I have a concealed carry permit, and also I can carry open carry, which I don't do unless I'm in the wilderness like this, on a drop down leg holster. I'm wearing a pair of Blackhawk warrior wear boots, combat type boots, Vibram soles. The Blackhawk warrior wear boots, about $125, amazing. I can run in these. I mean, it's like wearing tennis shoes, super comfortable, lightweight. Put a good water coating on them, and they're pretty water repellent as well too. On this side I have an extra magazine, and in this I have this is a sheath I made, Kydex sheath I made. It's got a ferrocerium rod on it here. This is I did a review on it. This is the Charade SCHF 36. Nice knife. I love this knife. I carried this knife with me on my side in the Kydex sheath that I made because I didn't care for the one that came with it, which was a fine sheath, but I like the Kydex on it better, which that's wrapped in paracord as well. In addition to carrying the BK7 on my bag with the compass, paracord, fire starter, and the blade on there. I have a friend of mine who's 20-some years in Special Forces. He thought this was a pretty nice rig, so I take that as a as a positive when a 20-year veteran Green Beret tells you that's a nice rig. So I also carry the Impact gloves by Mechanics, and that's in the multicam. Really like these, great gloves, light Mechanics gloves. I seen them in multicam, had to have them. I keep those on my bag. They're actually usually one of the Grimlocks strapped on my bag as well. The gaiters and knee pads are strapped on the side of my bag with the rain jacket I showed you earlier. Lightweight jacket there if I need a lightweight jacket on the outside of my bag, as well as my my Hawk, which is a good lightweight Hawk. And there's not a brand on my Hawk. The Hawk is was handmade by a guy where I used to do French and Indian War and Revolutionary War reenactments, and it was handmade and forged for me. So I can't tell you the maker on that, and I can't even remember the guy's name now. I haven't seen him in years, but I do like a hawk. I have a few of them, and that's the one I keep on this bag. Now what we do is we'll go into the contents of the bag and show you what's in the bag as well. Oh, and I have the shamag, which I keep pretty tight around my neck when I'm going through the woods, and I also have some promethium, I think is how you say it, sprayed on my clothes for the ticks, as well as some bug repellent as well, because it's these, you can't see them, but they're buzzing everywhere. They drive you nuts. In the bladder section, I have a water bag. There's actually 3 16-ounce water bottles. I dumped in this with a hose for drinking, and it comes down so I can drink while I'm walking, fresh water. Of course, I mentioned the outside there. I'm not too far from fresh streams and some small little lakes that are on the property, or big ponds, ever how you want to look at them. So I can get fresh water, and I can either filter it this way and drink straight from the source, or this way. And I also keep a Sawyer filter in here as well that I'll show you. The first compartment of this bag, so far I like this bag. I just walked pretty good ways with it. Where I came from is pretty hilly. There was a little pressure on my shoulder on this side, and I adjusted the strap, but it seemed to relieve it. They're pretty wide and very good padded, and it has a waist belt, so it really helps, so I like that. I am thinking at this point that I'm going to figure a way to lighten it up, because I mean, I could, if I was carrying this and carrying a rifle with me as well, with ammo and cleaning kit for my rifle on in a situation where I had to leave and wanted to take that with me, I'd just suck it up and do it, but I'd prefer it to be a little bit lighter than what it is. And I want to say, with everything hanging off of it, it's probably getting close to 40 pounds, which ain't bad. And then by the time I take off the knee pads and the gaiters and some of the other stuff and knife and strap it onto my waist and on my person here, it takes the weight down quite a bit. But in my experiences and getting out doing this, 20 pounds is really awesome, especially if you're carrying a sidearm and a rifle. But you do what you got to do, and it's good to get out and practice like this and find what works and what don't, and what weight works, and different configurations, so you know before you get out there and have to do it and realize that you're in bad shape and it hurting. Also on the outside right here in this strap, I carry the Bushnell. This is the TR XR 125. Good little light. I actually bought this from my nephew for his birthday. He's young, but it's a nice little tactical light. Good, solid. Has this is 125 lumens. Also has red for protect your night vision, and it has the blue, which I don't think you can tell there, but for blood track. So if you're a hunter, it's good for that too. For blood tracking, of course, with that blue light, blood kind of glows in the dark for you if you're trying to look for that. Of course, this backpack's got a lot of molly webbing on it. This top pouch right here is my fire kit, and it's very, very redundant. Of course, I have the fire steel on my knife there, and I have the fire steel on here. In addition, in here, I have the UCO stormproof matches and striker box there. I carry several Esbit stove cubes because I have a small Esbit type stove in the pack. Also, here is a lighter wrapped with Gorilla Tape, and if you didn't know, Gorilla Tape will burn. You can take some of them, wad it up, and it makes great tinder. Of course, a good old Bic lighter, can't beat that. And a pencil sharpener. Stick sticks in it, make shavings. Maybe you can get some dry tinder. It's loaded with dry tinder. They already keep inside of it, so I have some dry tinder. This is really neat. This is a Murray's Superior Hairdressing Pomade. This is mostly designed for African American folks and their hair, but it's really neat. I liked it. A friend of mine who is a black guy, and he showed me this, and I thought it was pretty neat. So credit to him. But this stuff's like Vaseline, and it's flammable. If you remember, guys, if you're old enough, remember Michael Jackson's hair catching on fire from the spark. So very flammable stuff. It does have a little smell to it. I keep cotton balls shoved down in it, so start a fire really good with that. And when I'm done with it, the tin, it's a metal tin. It's great to keep other tinder in. So I got that at Walmart. Also in here, I keep, this is what I use for reenactment. This is looks like an Altoid tin with a fire striker. I have a piece of flint and a striker. A buddy of mine who does reenactments made this for me. And underneath this piece of leather here, I have char cloth, and I believe I got a little bit of steel wool shoved under there too. And then 2 birthday candles. These birthday candles are the trick candles that won't blow out in the wind. So I stuck those in there. Well, once I got a little fire, I could light a couple of those and have them set just in case my main fire went out. I'd have that. So another redundant fire thing. There is a couple food items in here, just easy access. These are some made by Nutrilite. These are endurance cubes, citrus flavor, loaded with energy. Chew those up, get you going. If you need a little energy, get you going. A couple little packs of hazelnut and almond butter in packs. Easy to squirt in your mouth as you're going to keep you going. Of course, a couple wet wipes in there for cleanup as you're building a fire. And because it's a fireside and it's hot, I did put my little bottle of Tabasco in there. So if I'm eating any wild edibles and I need to spice them up a little bit, I can do that. And that is it for that side of the kit. And as I put this back in here, there's a lot of different things, and I probably got a little over redundance with the fire, but fire is so important, and so is drinking water. So if I got fire, I can boil water. If I got this, I can filter water, and another filter to filter water as well. I don't want to be without my knife. I don't want to be without a way to make fire if it's wet. If any of you guys have been watching the series Alone, how hard some of these guys that are really good at building fires are having a lot of trouble in that moist, damp area. Now, granted, they didn't get to carry a whole bag with them. I'm sure they would love that. But it's just important to redundance, I think, on fire and water and your blade as well. This right here is another pouch here. Of course, it has these straps to cinch all this down on the side. I didn't mention there, I keep a couple of these, they're tarp clips here, so I can take this tarp and turn it into a shelter pretty quick, hanging on the outside on a carabiner. I didn't mention that, but I usually keep 3. I got 4 on this one. I have another bag I keep 2 in because it's a smaller bag, but I have that on there as well. This zipper here, try to fold this down. I keep Ben's bug spray with DEET in it. It's not keeping the gnats out of my face, but they're not biting me at least. I keep a map of Kentucky, Tennessee in there also, and these are the ones that are covered that are waterproof. And then I also keep a medicinal plant guide in there, which I know a few of them, but it's good to have a reference on some more on that stuff. I also keep some shoe goo. If you're ever out and your shoe gets so wet and that sole comes off and you get to camp, you're stuck with a messed up shoe. Now, granted, Gorilla Tape, duct tape helps, but you can stow a little tube of this in there and seal your shoes up. By the morning when you get up, it should be ready to rock and roll. But this is repairing your gear. Things like your feet are very important, so your shoes are important. So don't skimp on stuff like that. Have a small pair of binoculars in there, just some inexpensive Tascos. These are 10 by 25 on those. I also keep a small Culligan's thermometer. Laying at the bottom, doesn't weigh much. Sometimes I'll hang it on the outside of the bag. It's good to know if you're getting too hot or if it's getting too cold. You can feel it, but it'd be good to know what it is in there. I also have a small knife sharpener, and this one, I believe it's the Gerber. Yes, it's a Gerber sharpener on a lanyard. I keep down at the bottom there. The main part. This is a large pill bottle. Actually, it was my father-in-law's. He gave it to me. It was empty. It is filled with organic coconut oil. which is a very good and healthy fat. Use it as a lubricant. You can use it as a lip balm. You can oil your knives with it. You can eat it. And you're out and you run out of food, and you run out of a few energy bars and a backpacking meal you got, and you're out there a little longer and it's getting slim. Of course, you can go 3 days without food, but wouldn't it be good to have some nutrition, or some fat, especially in the winter and things like that, when you really need those extra calories? And that is a lot of extra calories right there in that small container. As far as other calories I got in here, I got a backpacker's meal, beef stew. I got some powdered coffee creamer in there because I got some coffee packets in here as well, and tea. There's my green tea, some sweetener, and some coffee in there. I took a MRE kit apart and got the cheese and tortillas out of one of them and slid it in here. Good quick little pick you up meal. Of course, some Cliff Bars in there as well, which are great, and a little package of Spam. Serious calories. A little package of Spam, 250 calories in that. You add that with the tortillas and cheese, man, you're loaded up with calories to keep you going. So there's a lot of calories packed in a little small area in there. I also keep a roll of bank line as well, and a extra cloth filter in there that fits this, that goes into this filter to keep my water filter in case I'm drinking through some stuff that's pretty dirty. As far as in this part of the bag, what I keep is this. I picked this up at Walmart. It's good for maybe this time of the year. You may not want to even have anything on you when it's this hot, but occasionally it'll get a little bit cool and you might want something. This is a Ozark Trail rectangular sleeping bag liner. Now it's really thin and good for that. I have that in there, as well as the Escape Bivy, and you saw a lot of them are orange. I have the green one, but if I had that and this and it did get a little cold, I'm good to go for a pretty good temperature with the clothes on my back. I also have the Yukon Outfitter. This is a tarp shelter system. It's I'm going to put one of these up and show it in another video, but this will be really great to keep, and it's small and compact, and you can throw up a quick, easy shelter. And what I want to do is incorporate this with my Eno. So I have my Eno, so I'm off the ground. This is light, don't weigh much. Put this over me, and I've got a great little shelter, and I don't have to take a lot of time and burn calories cutting wood, making a lean-to, which I know how to do, but why burn the energy? Extra batteries and cords from my electronic devices. Straps for my Eno. This is a military issue poncho with the snaps and grommets on it. This I keep in there just for extra rain gear, keep me dry, but it can also be an alternative shelter as well. So a little redundancy with my shelter system. In here is synthetic underwear, boxer briefs. Don't wear cotton, guys, underneath here. Another thing I learned from backpacking, you're wearing cotton underwear that are short, or even just cotton long ones, and you get to water, you're going to have that butt cream and powder, because you're going to be chafed and you're going to be in a bad situation and hurting. Wool socks, smart wool socks. Smart wool is even smart when it's warm like this. It breathes and it's great, and they dry out really quick on it. But I keep those packed down in this right here. And then I keep a little extra weight, but I have bungee cords. Man, ain't nothing quicker. You can throw up a tarp shelter in a downpour, or the sun's going down pretty quick. Throw up some bungee cords. They're really worth the wait to me to have them in there. And then my cook system. This is the Esbit cook system, which I did another video, if you go back and look at it, on stoves. This was in there, and I added in with my clean canteen for water. You can also boil water in this as a container. And then the hose stove system that can be used different ways. I can use those little Nesbit cubes in this as well. Put them in here. This is my cup, which has measurements on it, rubber handles so I can cook, and it's got a small lid in here on top so it makes the water boil faster. Can even get, this is open, I can run twigs and burn wood in here as well too, and that'll sit on it and I can boil water that way as well. But it all nests together, as you can see, really nice, and fits into my bag. Also keeping this little top pouch, a frog gigger. Good way to get food. Of course, if you have some skill making traps and things like that, you can always gather food that way too in a long-term situation. But that, guys, is what's in my bag. I believe I covered all the bases and then some extra redundancy. Hope this helped. Hope it give you a few new ideas. And remember, you got to go prepared because you just never know. Thank you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon. Gnats are terrible.